Judas was paid. Judas was paid. I am making a sacrifice.
Tonight and for the next 24 hours, we shall be forecasting the outcome, reporting the results as they happen, talking to the new Prime Minister.
This means that people are saying, in effect, as they did indeed in our pre-election polls, there's something deeply wrong with the way politics have been run in the country.
David Arthur Russell Howe, 28,152.
Is this a piece of litmus paper for the rest of the country, do you see, tonight and tomorrow?
Well, I don't think so. My majority was slightly larger. I think this is a very substantial Conservative victory, as I thought it would be here. And, of course, it's very difficult to predict the outcome of this election.
The under-mentioned person.
A big success for the Liberals.
Good. Perhaps I should put a better face on it. Elections are very unpredictable things. We've seen 16 seats in. The first seat has changed hands. Just now, there are many hours to go. I don't think that we should be unduly depressed, but the indications at the moment are not what would encourage anybody.
There's been something of an air of gloom about. And that gloom deepened earlier this evening when it was discovered that the weather in the north and the Midlands had been bad round about 8 o'clock. Labour voters are notorious late people to turn out. Then when it was discovered that there had been a high poll, confidence started rising.
It
shows that for quite a period during the general election, people felt that the election was a beauty contest rather than the choice of a team to get the country out of the mess it's in.
I'm returning immediately to London by air, and I have summoned a meeting of my senior parliamentary colleagues for this afternoon.
First time ever at a general election, Wales has elected not just one, but 2 Plaid Cymru MPs.
Already we have scored a tremendous historic victory, and I think this shows clearly that the people of Wales want to control more of their own affairs.
Mr. Heath could resign this afternoon. He would then have to recommend to the Queen who she should send for. If Mr. Wilson was sent for and said that he was unable to form a government, then Mr. Heath has to continue.
If he forms a minority government, it's impossible to implement every item in the Labour Party manifesto. You can't do that. First of all, he's got to seek means of promoting economic recovery.
You are everything.
And we expect that the Liberals and other parties will take about 30 seats. This means that whichever way we add it, either to the Conservatives or to Labour, there is no chance, as seen by the computer, of either party getting the necessary 318.
I don't like fragmented parties. I think on the whole there's only room for 2 views in this country in politics, because there's a good deal of middle ground in both, and I don't think there's any room for a third party to try and take the middle ground.
What was going through your mind as you realised you were coming nearer to holding the balance of power?
Well, this had always been accepted as a possibility. I think it places upon one an enormous responsibility. I think it also gives one an immense opportunity to try and be a moderating influence in British politics.
Mr. Smith, are you preparing to throw your weight, if I may put it that way, behind one bloc or the other?
Not preparing to do anything at the moment. We're waiting to see what the final results are. And as Jeremy Thorpe has said on his press interview this afternoon, it's for the other parties to make the approach.
In the circumstances that exist, the Labour Party is prepared to form a government and to submit its programme for the endorsement of Parliament.
Those were such happy times and not so long
Inside number 10 Downing Street, we know that there are 6 ministers now conferring with Mr. Heath. Mr. Heath, who may be the outgoing Prime Minister as a result of this general election, he may still have ideas about continuing.
I love so